Hi, I'm Alabama criminal defense attorney Andrew Siegel. And today what we're going to talk about are the circumstances in rape cases where people get themselves charged without realizing that they've committed a crime. Now that may sound crazy. You're thinking, how can somebody be accused of rape who may be guilty without even knowing that they're guilty? And the issue goes to consent, because that gets people confused. So let's talk about it. And there's really, I would say, about 3-4 situations. The first and the most obvious is the issue of statutory rape. We have some guy, he's in a bar. Some gal that is the spitting image of Kim Kardashian walks in. She flashes ID. The ID says 22. The guard at the door lets her in. Guy strikes up a conversation, says, "How old are you?" She says, "Well, I'm 22, here's my ID." They go back, they do what people have been doing for centuries. He finds out later, or when the police show up at his door, she was 14. She didn't look 14. Guess what? It's not a defense. Even though he did everything he could to try to protect against that and was trying to be cautious, it doesn't matter under Alabama law. Alabama law on the issue of statutory rape is strict liability. It means if her age is below age and you're above age, you're in trouble. And it is not a defense to say, "But she looked like Kim Kardashian. Too bad." Okay? That's not to say that the prosecutor may not make some sort of concessions and try to do something under those circumstances, but the law itself doesn't offer you really any kind of relief on that. I'm not saying the law is fair, I'm saying that's what the law is. Now, there's another situation that we see where people wind up getting accused of rape going, "Well, how?" And that is where somebody is mentally or physically incapacitated. And that occurs, the most common, of course, is the date rape situation where somebody slipped something in their drink. That clearly can be rape, and that can be a legitimate rape case. The issue might be, well, did this guy, was he the one who did it? Is he guilty? Did he know? But a more common thing that we see where it's a contested issue is where there is an issue of voluntary intoxication. Because in the circumstances of where somebody gets intoxicated, if they're intoxicated to the point that they can't give consent and sexual activities occur, that can be rape too. And the issue that you get into is, well, how intoxicated is so intoxicated that you can't give consent? I just successfully defended a case like this. Fortunately for the client, the girl was, let's put it this way, she was tangoing too. And we were able to argue that she was participating. She wasn't so out of it as to not be aware of her actions because of her actions. And so that's an issue. But the client was like, I didn't rape her. We were both drinking. We were having a good time. It wasn't rape. And of course, our argument was it wasn't rape. It was regret. It may have been remorse. It may have been revenge, but it wasn't rape. That case could have gone the other way. Fortunately for him, he prevailed. So that is the second way where people can be accused of rape without realizing that they have committed a crime. Third way is when somebody is what's called mentally defective. And mentally defective means that somebody is suffering from a mental disease or defect where they are simply not capable of forming consent. And it's not always necessarily easy to tell. I mean, there's, somebody might be the quote, the quintessential dumb blonde of stories, but if she is so dumb as to be mentally defective, then that would be a crime because she can't give consent. Sometimes people may not be aware of it. They might be at a party, there might be drugs and other things going on where the person doesn't realize it. But again, it is a crime and people can find themselves in a very grave danger of going to prison and being a convicted sex offender. Now the fourth one is really kind of an unusual one. I have seen it, it's odd. And that is a person can be accused of and in fact convicted of rape when they've never had sex with the other person. Now you're probably going, has this lawyer flipped his lid? Is he crazy? What the heck are you talking about? Here's how. Alabama law has what's called accomplice liability. In for a penny, in for a pound. If one person participates with another, they're fully responsible for the other person's actions. That's why in a robbery case, if one guy says, "Hey, I'll just drive," and the other guy goes into the store and shoots the clerk, the guy sitting in the driver's seat is still guilty of the shooting. If the guy says, "Hey, I'll just drive, we're going to go on a robbery," and the other guy goes in the store and rapes the clerk, the guy sitting in the car, he's guilty of rape, even though he's like, I didn't go in for this. In for a penny, in for a pound. The law says, hey, if you agree to the criminal enterprise, you're buying the whole enchilada. I had a case with a woman. She was accused of rape. She was out with a guy. The guy was drunk. She was the designated driver all evening long. He's saying, I want to get me a girl. I want to get me a girl. She thought nothing of it. That's something drunk guys sometimes say. Pull into a parking lot. He tries to kidnap a woman at knife point. She's charged with rape. Police officer asked her what happened. She said, he said, I want to get me a girl. I want to get me a girl. Cop in his little notebook writes, she said he told her he was going to kidnap a woman. Now, is that what she said? No. Fortunately, she had a written statement that was basically what she had said, which is, he told me he wanted to pick up a girl. We were able to argue. That's not what she said. She didn't say she was participating. She just said what she said. And so that case went away without a conviction for her. Not so good for the guy who kidnapped. I think he's doing 99 years, but that wasn't my case. So at any rate, the lesson of this is that if you or somebody you love is accused of rape, you need to talk to an attorney, and you need to do so right away, immediately. Don't waste time. Call a lawyer. Give us a call if you'd like. Thank you for watching.